Hello friends, in this video I want to show how to optimize WordPress website powered with LearnPress plugin. LearnPress is a learning management system for the WordPress, which will help you to add courses, teachers, quizzes, etc. to your WordPress and earn money from selling those courses. So I installed LearnPress and added some demo courses. It has lots of features, as you can see. So it's demo, and this text is just populated by demo. And it has some course information, duration, lessons, number of students, etc. Frequently asked questions section, which you can click and expand to see more. It has curriculum section with lots of additional sections and lessons inside those sections. So as you can see, some parts are public and others are hidden by login or by payment. You can scroll down and see other sections, expand it, etc. And this is how a demo course looks like. Let's see how it performs in PageSpeed Insights report. And this is the score 83 that I get without any optimization for LearnPress. So this is the default theme for WordPress, which is a block theme 2025 and LearnPress plugin. When we scroll to details, we can see that first contentful paint is 2.4 seconds and largest contentful paint is 3.8 seconds, which is too much. So ideally, we want to reduce largest contentful paint to below 2.5 seconds. And when we scroll down, we can see that we have lots of render blocking requests. So it blocks our page for 2 seconds. And when we see details, we can see lots of JavaScript files, jQuery, React, Lodash, etc. So lots of JavaScript files, probably close to 30 JavaScript files. And when we click on network dependency tree, this is also showing us lots of JavaScript files, as you can see here, and some CSS files as well. Let's focus on optimizing JavaScript first and see what happens. Let me show you final result after optimization. This is a PageSpeed score after applying optimizations and after fixing these PageSpeed issues with LearnPress. I get a 99 PageSpeed score. And when we scroll down, we can see that network dependency tree only has 2 CSS files and 1 form file for icons. Largest contentful paint is 2 seconds, and first contentful paint is 1.1 seconds, so which is great. 99 score is great for LearnPress website. Let's go step by step how this optimization happened. First of all, I prefer using Flying Scripts plugin to lazy load all JavaScript files. Also, in incognito window, let's press F12 and check network performance, see which JavaScript files loaded, and refresh page. When we click filter and filter by JavaScript, we can see lots of JavaScript files. Let's try to reduce this number of JavaScript files that is loaded initially. Let's search for Flying Scripts plugin in plugins repository, and it's this plugin. Install and activate it. After activating, navigate to settings, Flying Scripts page, and here we have include keywords section. So I pasted these keywords that I want to lazy load. So if this one is Google syndication, so if you are using AdSense, you can put this keyword here. This is for Google Analytics. These are a couple default WordPress scripts that are not necessary initially, that they can be lazy loaded. Also lazy load all JavaScript files inside plugins and all inline JavaScript files that use jQuery. If no any mouse movement or any interaction happens, then timeout after 5 seconds, load those scripts, save changes, also clear site cache if you are using caching plugin. Let's refresh this page and see what happens. So we still have lots of JavaScript files, 25 loaded right now, and after 5 seconds, 34 additionally 9 JavaScript files loaded. So it's working in some way, but still 25 files are loaded without any user interaction, so they are not using lazy loading feature. If we look at source code and search for .js to see what happens, we can see that all JavaScript files inside plugins directory is lazy loaded, but some files that are not there, for example, files inside WP includes JS dist are not lazy loaded. So what are those files? Those files are requested by plugin. Plugin JavaScript depends on these libraries that are provided by WordPress, and if plugin needs them, they can include them as dependency. So we need to lazy load them as well. What string we can use to lazy load them? We can use /js/dist to select all these dependencies and lazy load. So let's add it. JS dist / save changes, clear cache, and see what happens. Refresh page. Now we can see all those dependencies are also lazy loaded. But still we have some inline scripts that depend on those dependencies. If we check our web page and switch to console, we can see that we have lots of JavaScript errors. These are because those inline scripts depend on those JavaScript files that are lazy loaded. So this inline script calls before actual JavaScript file loaded, so which brings out these errors. We can also lazy load these JavaScript files one by one. For example, here it says that WP is not defined, so we can say load any inline JavaScript with WP dot as a lazy load, but it will not fix our problem. So let's try it and see what happens. So I want to lazy load WP dot. Also, what else? WP, and here we can see that Lodash is not defined. So when we click it here, we can see Lodash and dot selector. So we can use that as well. So Lodash dot save changes, clear cache, and refresh this page. I'm waiting without moving any mouse movement and see what happens. We don't see any errors here, right? And we can think, oh, that's it. That's great. We fixed it. If we want to reproduce a real world example, we can disable cache and put in 3G mode and then refresh it, switch to console tab again, then refresh it and make mouse movement. So see what happens. And again, we see lots of errors happening, and that is because inline JavaScript is still executed before loading JavaScript files that are needed. So fix this issue, what we need to do, we need to load all JavaScript files and execute all inline JavaScript in the same order as they present on the web page. So if we look at source code, press Ctrl+U keys, search for .js, and here we can see that these are inline JavaScript, but they are not files, so files will be always slower than directly inline code, and this inline code will execute before any other JavaScript, lazy loaded JavaScript files, and that gives us error. As you can see, there is no deferred attribute in these script tags. So what we need, ideally, we need to use a defer tags in order to load and execute each JavaScript in order as they appear on this page. So no matter which settings we use, which keywords, additional keywords we add, we cannot fix it with flying scripts. For that reason, let's remove it. Flying scripts will not work for LearnPress website. And I spent lots of time trying to fix this issue, and finally I fixed it. So let's go to plugins and disable flying scripts, deactivate, and add another plugin, which is Autoptimize. Search and install plugin called Autoptimize. It's this plugin by Frank Cousens, and activate it. Go to settings. It has lots of settings here. So after trying a couple versions, I found a solution, which is optimize JavaScript. Check this checkbox, and then do not aggregate but defer. That's what we want. We don't want to aggregate and merge all JavaScript files. We don't want that. We just want to defer individual JavaScript files also differ inline JavaScript. So this is what will fix all those errors that we saw in console before. And scroll down, make sure that there is nothing in this box. So make sure that this field is empty. Scroll down. For now, we don't need to optimize CSS files. Let's just optimize JavaScript first. And scroll down. And here in MISC options, uncheck this checkbox because it's checked by default. We don't want to minify anything. We just want to defer existing JavaScript files. Also, at the end, make sure to check this checkbox. Disable extra compatibility logic. So this will make sure that all those files inside the JS test folder will also be deferred. Save changes, empty cache, clear site cache as well. Now let's refresh this page and make sure that we don't have any console errors here. We are still using disabled cache and using 3G network. So as you can see, there is no errors here and everything works, expands, everything works as expected. So page is fully functional without any issues. I also made some tests with Debug.beer website. Navigate to Debug.beer website and scroll down and see this website speed test link at the bottom in tools section. When we click it, there is an input field appear. There you paste your website URL, web page URL, and then start test. After test completes, this overview page will load. So this is without any optimization. What we are interested, we want to see what requests are happening and how they are affecting our page speed. So we can see that lots of blocking requests are visible before Largest Contentful Paint. So when we scroll down, we can see 28 requests happens before Largest Contentful Paint. So all these requests with orange background are happening before Largest Contentful Paint. But do we need all these JavaScript files for Largest Contentful Paint? No, because it's just simple page with text and with some styles. So ideally, we need only these 3 files for Largest Contentful Paint. So after making those changes in Autoptimize plugin settings, I tested again with Debug.beer, and now let's see requests page. And here we can see that only 3 requests are happening before Largest Contentful Paint. So it's main document and 2 CSS files. And all other JavaScript files are using defer option, defer setting. So defer attribute. So if we see source code, it shows like this: script, defer, and source, and then other attributes as well. And with incognito window, we can also view that when we press Ctrl U to view source and then search for .js files. And here we can see that defer is added to all JS files and also defer added to inline JavaScript as well. So inline JavaScript converted to source and then added defer. So this means all JavaScript files will execute one by one after downloading. So they will download asynchronously, but they will be executed only if previous JavaScript is executed. So they will execute line by line following page structure. If we go to Debug.beer and see overview, look at overview, and you can see that Largest Contentful Paint is 1.1 seconds, which is great. And in requests tab, we can see that total 8 requests and 100 kilobyte files downloaded before Largest Contentful Paint happens. And with graph, we can see that initially there was only 1 request, and then suddenly there is 38 requests, but most of them are deferred requests, so they are loaded asynchronous without blocking any page rendering. And then also we can see that how many kilobytes downloaded, and at this point we have 100 kilobytes downloaded and Largest Contentful Paint event happens. And then it still continues downloading all other JavaScript files and page continues to loading. But what's important here is largest contentful paint event happens as fast as possible. If we check Google PageSpeed score that I showed at the beginning of this video, we can see that 99 PageSpeed score we can see, and largest contentful paint is 2 seconds. And it still shows us some additional improvements that you can do. So it suggests us improve the images and also remove these 2 render blocking requests, but having 2 or 3 CSS files is fine. But if we still want to remove them, we can inline them with Autoptimize plugin as well. In network dependency tree, we can look at it and we can see also 1 CSS file, second CSS file, and 1 font file for icons is loaded. And that's it. That's how Autoptimize plugin optimize JavaScript without showing any warnings, without breaking any page functionality. Let's try optimizing those CSS files. Navigate to Settings, Auto-Optimize page, and in CSS options, check this Optimize CSS code checkbox. Then aggregate CSS files, check this checkbox, and then scroll down and check Inline all CSS. So we will inline all CSS files. So all CSS files will be loaded within the page without any external files. And from exclude, make sure there is no folders appearing here, only dash icon, admin bar, they can appear, but make sure that there is no any folders at the end of this text box. If there is folders, just delete them. And then that's it. Don't change anything else. Just save changes, then clear site cache. Let's check it with debug beer, and this is what we get with inlining all the CSS files. Go to Requests tab, and here we can see that only 1 file is needed for Largest Contentful Paint, which is main document file. We see that only 3 requests and 51 kilobyte data needed for Largest Contentful Paint, which is great. And in graph, we can see that Largest Contentful Paint happens here with 51 kilobyte files, where before inlining all those CSS files, these 2 CSS files, we had 8 requests and 111 kilobytes before Largest Contentful Paint. And that's extra optimization, which is great. So let me show you also which page cache plugin I am using. Go to plugins, I am using Cache Enabler plugin, and when we click on settings, I uncheck everything and put 0 here as well. So I will clear cache using this button whenever I add any course or I add any page to the website. Only then I need to clear cache. Otherwise, the cached page is fine and can be served for all website visitors. It will be served for web crawlers as well, search engine bots, AI bots, for everyone. So it will reduce server load greatly, and it will save lots of CPU power of your server. So when user logs in, they will have a faster website inside courses, inside the admin as well. In this tutorial, we saw that not one solution fits all. There is no such solution that will fix all websites, all WordPress websites. In some cases, we need to look for other possible solutions and to understand what exactly we need to fix, and then add those changes, use those plugins that can fix those complications with PageSpeed optimization. For optimizing WordPress websites, I use a checklist, simple checklist that you can download from my website, webpad.com/speed. I use it as a reference whenever I optimize a WordPress website, so I don't miss any steps and make sure that I get a high page speed score, a 90 plus page speed score in most cases. So if you want that checklist, you can download it from my website. Thank you for liking and sharing these videos. See you in next videos. Bye.